Welcome back to the Antisocial Socialite. Hi guys, here I am. I'm back and I'm a year older. I can't guarantee I'm a year wiser, but you know what? Check back with me in a few months and I will let you know, because I think my immature sense of humor keeps me acting a lot younger than 36. Ew. Oh, it's so weird to say I'm 36. Like I was telling my mom yesterday, I am like nearing 40 and I'm like officially in my, well, would you still consider me mid 30s, or are now we pushing late 30s? But whatever, it's so gross. But I did have a great birthday weekend, and here we are now in December, if you can believe it. It's the month of major religious holidays, holiday shopping, and seasonal depression. I mean, what more do you want, right? Yay for seasonal depression. Yeah, no, this year has been so gnarly and I'm really happy for it to end, although I have been waiting my entire life to party like the Great Gatsby in the roaring 20s. And how are we going to start this decade off with a pandemic and staying isolated? And, well, I guess Jay Gatsby was pretty isolated in his mansion, so maybe that's, yeah, I'm going to like pretend that I'm him right now. Yay. But for this week, I mean, I just want to let you guys know I had a great birthday. Pizza was involved, friends were involved, art museums were involved. I mean, it was just like the most magical birthday I could have had. I mean, that is like life, right? Being with my loved ones, eating pizza and art. Like, I'm a pretty simple gal. But in honor of the spirit of the holiday season, and because of my guests that I have featured on this week, I figured it's time to do another round of Facebook Marketplace finds. That's right, my guest for this week, Tyrone Blassingame. He's actually a member of the Legendary Media Group. I know you guys hear about them all the time. But Tyrone is an amazing human being, super cool dude, and I actually just did my Slap Report with him, which is his new show, and I hope you guys get to check that out. So I interviewed him, he interviewed me, so we're sharing each other's platforms, and I thank him immensely. But a few weeks ago, when I had done my Facebook Marketplace finds, Tyrone actually commented that he really loved that because he finds some pretty weird things on here. So I figured, in honor of his episode, why not show you guys some new finds? And we're all involving the holiday season this time. All right, so without further ado, let's get started on these weirdo finds I've come across. All right, so first up here we have the personalized elves. What in the bootleg ass elf on the shelf type shit is this? I am not. And like, you know I'm serious because my voice is cracking as it goes up. I am not paying $10 for that creepy ass elf Peyton that's in the front. Those creepy ass eyes like staring at me in the dark while I'm trying to sleep. Hell no. Next. A hot dog in a bun ornament. If you recall what I said last time about the Facebook Marketplace finds, that turning foods into household items is just not my vibe, this falls into that category. Why the hell do I want some type of pork product hanging off my tree, especially with pickle feet? I mean, I love pickles, but like, I'm not trying to have pickle feet. All right, so the Grinch tumbler is not entirely too bad, but find a way to market your product where I don't have to see your hair clippers and your peace sign sticker in the foreground. Like, what are you trying to market? Like, do those come with the tumbler or whatever? Like, do better. If you want to be professional, you gotta act it, okay? Okay. The Corona Mints. I simply do not want to commemorate this year with a damn ornament on my tree to enjoy for years to come. I just give you 3 examples. They are all nasty and need to be thrown in the garbage. It's not cute. And lastly, here we have the customized wooden ornaments with family members' names engraved on them. And I'm all for a good original name, but I never, ever want to hear somebody making fun of somebody named Precious or Diamond or Laquanda, right? Ever, 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 ever again. If you're going to be naming your children Brenly and Lakin, if you look on that damn ornament, those are the names, right? Brenly sounds like a prickly bush that you would ask your landscapers to be removing from your yard. And Lakin sounds like some old redneck that's getting ready to go canoeing for the day. He's like, hey y'all, I'm just gonna go be laking today. I'm gonna go laking. I will say that Brenly and Lakin's mom's name is probably Karen, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys can agree with me that these marketplace finds are just like absurd. And these aren't even the weirdest ones that I've come across. Like, I have to dig into the rabbit hole of things I've saved in my camera roll to show you guys. But I figured it's December. Christmas is approaching, whether we like it or not. I mean, we always love it, right? But we're not ready for it because whatever. I mean, I'm good. I'm like done with my Christmas shopping. My cards are written. Like, I'm overachiever for Christmas. But yeah, people are just weird. Please, I'm all for supporting small businesses, but if these are the business that you're talking about, I would rather you donate some money in my honor to a great charity instead of clogging my home with this bullshit. Well, anyway, again, I'm going to hit you guys with a commercial break, and it has nothing to do with anything that I just showed you here on that marketplace find. So, with that being said, enjoy my commercial break and then enjoy my interview that I had with Tyrone, and I will see you guys afterwards. So this week's commercial break is from Studio Cult. I just want to let you guys know that my childhood dream has come true. Yeah, that's right. I used to play with binder clips when I was a kid and like holding them up to my Barbies, being like, it's Barbie's purse and it's so cute. And I've always wanted one. And Studio Cult has actually like made my dreams come true. It's great. I asked my mom for this for either my birthday or Christmas, and she delivered. Like, we love you, Bets. Thanks. I didn't know how much it was, and it's only $100, which is not that bad, but the downfall is that it fucking smells like grandma's basement. Not my grandma's basement, but like musty. And I never leave reviews, but I left them a 1-star review today because this shit smells pretty foul. But I figured, you know, I do love it so much, and hopefully it airs out, that I wanted to sponsor them on this here commercial break. So yeah, and I will say that the cutest part of it, well, I mean, the outside is the cutest part, but the inside is like lined paper. Like, fucking cute. Okay, that's it. What's up, everybody? Today with me, I have Tyrone Blassingame, the founder, the coolest dude in the world of Overly Dedicated Network. How are you, man? What's going on?
I'm good. Thank you. People say I'm the coolest man in the world. I don't think I'm that interesting, honestly. But, you know, I appreciate you that you said that.
Yes. No, I think you are. You have like dope qualities behind you, and I think you're just like such a solid dude, like always like showing love to not only people in the LMG fam, but also like artists in all different areas in your network and all that stuff. So,
and that's the goal, man. I think a lot of people are talented, and I'm interested in people, so you know, why not promote them? You know, it don't cost nothing to, you know, repost or just comment and say, hey, that's dope. That's all people need.
Absolutely. So hopefully a lot of people will be reposting this interview, and we'll both be catching some new followers and subscribers and all that stuff. But nice. So I want to talk with you about the Overly Dedicated Network. So you had founded this, and I've seen all throughout quarantine since when we first met up until now, the evolution of it. So if you want to talk about it, tell us what it's all about and what you're working on right now.
Okay, so first, OD Network. Only Dedicated came as a Kendrick Lamar have a mixtape called Overly Dedicated a while back. That's not where I actually got it from. I got it from a friend of mine. He was going to name his something about Overly Dedicated. And when I heard the name, I'm like, wow, that is amazing. Because at the time I was doing film. Oh, I still do film, by the way. I don't want to say at the time. I still do film. I'm a filmmaker. I direct and stuff like that. But so I'm like, this is super dope. This is super dope. And I relate to it because at the time I was overly dedicated towards making film and acting and all that type stuff. So I called him. We talked about it for a little bit. So then I changed it to Overly Dedicated Productions, which is my production company still. You know what I'm saying? But as I got more to I started fashion streetwear more. I was starting to get into interviews and doing things like that. And I'm like, it still could be Overly Dedicated Productions, but I still Complex, and you got your own Buzz feeds and Revolt TV. And I'm like, I don't just want to do film. I want to do fashion. I want to do interviews. I want not just me, but I want to see these things from other people as well. So it's like, you know what? Let's just change it into a network. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
It covers all that. It covers fashion. It covers film. It covers music, in one whole thing. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just make it a network. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do that. So that's what OD Network came from. But it was a brand as well. I still have merch. I haven't released it yet. But
hello. You got to release it after this interview because now you're gonna have new fans. So you better be working on that.
I used to sell the shirts a while back, a couple years ago, and then I stopped and I started another brand that was more streetwear based. Right here, I know you can't see all of it, but this is just one of the shirts that was a part of it, which is inspired by NWO wrestling. I was a huge wrestling fan as a kid. But yeah, so that's where the OD Network really started out on the short term. Maybe I didn't get deep, but on the short term, that's why OD Dedicated started the network.
That's so cool. So you've been working on it, and all through quarantine, we had quarantine questions, which you would reach out to your followers and ask them some questions and get connected with them and engage with them. But now you're also working on a brand new project that I just watched this morning called the Slap Report. So I think this is one facet that you talked about, fashion and film, music, and all that stuff. So explain to us what the Slap Report is about.
Oh man, so the Slap Report. So one day, me and my girlfriend Venus, Venus, but for everybody
we
else.
Love Venus. Hey girl.
we was going to a drive-in movie that was pretty far away. So we started playing albums. I forgot what it was. I think it was Jay-Z. I'm not sure. Chris Brown. I'm sorry. His first album. Chris Brown's first album. And I'm like,
thank you, Venus.
Yeah, right. She right here, by the way, guys. But yeah, so he's listening to Chris Brown. I'm like, yo, he got a whole bunch of hits on this album. Like, this album really is a classic. Then I was thinking, how many albums that you really I listen to albums. I'm like, I don't really like all of them. Like, which one I can listen to straight through? So I was gonna make that a quarantine question at first. I was gonna make yo, what album is all hits, your classic albums and stuff like that. But I didn't do that. But I started reviewing other albums like 2 Chainz one, which I just dropped on the. I'm like, hey. I always have my opinion anyway. I always tell my friends and stuff yo, y'all heard that? I don't really like it like that, or I like this song or this song. So I'm like, why not just, call it something? Then I didn't know what to call it. And Venus again helped out. She was something about slap. And then when she said slap, I'm like, yeah, that's good. And I'm like, damn, what I'm gonna add with it? So I'm like, the Slap Report, like a news thing. And you could just put it together. So I'm like,
no, I love it. I was like, oh, that's a good title because not a lot of people use that, to promote a report, they're like, here's the news here, but you're like, I'm gonna make it official, but it's also gonna slap. So
it got to slap, and it got to be stuff that I think is dope. Where we review albums, mixtapes, even a single. Somebody might drop a new single that you think is hot, or it might not hit. So it's a report they missed that one.
Slap or flap? No, that's not a good word, but.
So yeah, slap and flap. I was trying to find something that was going to actually rhyme with it too, and I couldn't think of nothing. So that's why I said the report. That's why I said the report.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? Report's a good strong word. It makes it sound official. So let's be using that. I love it. That's so cool. No, I love hearing about it because I think, and I want to talk a little bit more about it, but you're definitely behind the camera kind of as much as you're in front of the camera. So it's good to hear your perspective doing shows like this, like the Slap Report, having quarantine questions. But what are you more passionate about? Because you did mention that you're a producer and a filmmaker. So do you have a preference of being in front of the camera or behind the camera?
I actually like being behind the camera. It's funny
Knew you were gonna say
that I'm
that.
a behind the camera type of guy. I only really do shows because like I don't have people to do them. But I want these ideas to come out. So it's like, okay, I'll do it myself.
No, it's great because it gives them an insider scoop about like what's going on in your world and being able to connect with you because there's always so much curiosity about, because imagine like, I'm just going to say like Steven Spielberg, right? Like huge director. Do we know much about his personal life or what he does? No, we just know that he does movies.
Yeah.
Unless you do research. So it's like nice that you're like, okay, you guys know my work for what I do behind the camera, but you also get to know me as a person.
Yeah, no, I started off. Don't get me wrong. I started off in front of the camera. I started off as an actor. I was a major. I majored in theater at Cheney University, so I was a theater major. I've been on TV and movies a couple times, but once I seen like behind the camera, and I like the process from very beginning, like the idea, and seeing it all the way to the end to like a finished product, and it's like wow. Like as an actor, normally as an actor, you just go in. You do your job and then you leave. You're not a part of the idea from the jump, and you're not part of the post-production. You could do a whole movie and be cut out the whole movie and don't know it until it come out.
That's foul. But it happens.
It happened to people. Even with Jared Leto, when he did Suicide Squad. I don't know if y'all noticed, but he had an article out where they was saying he was super pissed because he recorded so much in Suicide Squad that he could have had his own movie, but they only had him in them little parts.
No way.
Like everything out. So he was like upset about that, so
that's
it happens.
Crazy.
It happens. It definitely happens. You can still get your check. You get paid for it though.
I was just going to say, I don't know what's worse, like getting cut out of the movie or like, you get paid for something, but you're just like, for what I got paid, I should be in it a hell of a lot more than what I am.
And you just want to show your work, and you probably did a lot of dope scenes that probably never made it that you probably felt that was dope. You know what I mean? But so yeah, that's what I like. I like the beginning process to the end. So that's why I started falling in love behind the camera, and giving other people opportunity, which is like one of my biggest things. I know a lot of people that are super, 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 super talented, like yourself, and
Thank you.
You created your own opportunity, but I'm just saying, like people super talented like yourself and Venus and everybody that's in the LMG group, and it's like some people don't know where to start, or some people just need that little push to start. So like even creating a network, that's why I said I want other shows that I want other people to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to be the person in front of the camera. I want other people to, have a platform, because some people don't want to start because they're like, well, we have no platform. I don't have no subscribers. Like, some people don't want to grind it out. So it's like, all right, well, I have a platform. You want to have a show? I mean,
right.
Platform. That's cool.
Right. You're like, we don't have to just interview, or we can do like a whole show on my network. I'm giving you the opportunity. What really like piqued your curiosity about getting into this industry? I mean, like how old were you? Like what was kind of like that breaking point in your life that you're like, oh my God, I could do this as a career?
Oh man. So it's actually not a long story.
We got time. Don't worry.
Let's do it. I'm with it. So what made me start thinking that way, or before that, let's go before that. So when I was in high school, I was a senior in high school, and you know how you just want to take the easy classes and electives, and then I was like a guy that wanted to chase girls and stuff like that. So I took a dance class because dance class was all girls in there. It was just like me and another guy. Like I was with it. So like that, let's do it. And plus, I actually like dance. Like I used to dance. I used to want to be a choreographer. That's another story.
So you didn't just do this just to pick up chicks in your class. You actually like enjoyed it, and you had the benefit.
Because I know how to dance too. So it was like it was an easy thing. But then the problem was they wanted me to wear leotards, and I was too cool for that. I was not wearing tights.
I think we talked about this on one of your shows. Was it Kicking with Ty? Because I was like, this sounds oddly familiar. I was like, hold on a second.
Yeah, I would definitely wasn't wearing tights. I wasn't with that. I wasn't gonna let my friends play me and all that because people knew I took the dance class. So they was telling me like, she was like, hey, if you don't wear the tights, you know what I mean, even if you wear shorts, you're not going to be able to get a B or an A. She's like, the most you can get is probably a C. I'm like, I was okay with that. I was like, cool, as long as I pass, as long as I graduate, I'm okay with that. But
You're like, I already passed my transcripts into my college, so like I'm in. I don't care if I get a C. Like, doesn't affect my GPA too much. Yeah.
Tights for sure. But she was like, you know what? You could be an understudy in the play because since it's the dance class, she's like, I'm the person that do the choreography for the play. And I've done plays before when I was younger, so I'm like, sure, understudy. She's like, yeah, you don't have to do nothing. You're just in case this person don't show up or he gets sick or get hurt. I'm like, all right. Anybody that auditioned for the play and get the role, you're not going to not show up.
Right.
You do it, obviously, because you auditioned for it.
Right. And you're passionate and that's what you want to do for this play.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. I'm fine. Like, I'll do it. So she's like, cool. And then I get there, he don't shows up.
And you're like, shit. No, I have to do it.
And stuff. And it's like, all right, you got to do it. I'm like, I got to do it? They're like, yeah. But while doing it, it was just amazing. It was kind of freeing in a way. We did West Side Story. I played Bernardo, which is Maria's brother. And it was dope. So it piqued my interest then. And then I had a radio TV class and the teacher was like, she's like, you have a great voice for like radio or TV. She's like, have you ever thought about that? And I'm like, no. Because, I played basketball. I was a basketball guy, basketball star in Northeast or whatever. I went to Northeast High. And I'm like, no. She's like, you should think about it. I'm like, yeah, but I have to breathe. They're like, okay. I'm not doing that. Cool. You never know what, so many times your teachers speak stuff into you because they see things and you never know what it end up coming out. I just noticed that like 2 months ago, like, wow, she did do that. And it's wow.
You're like, I love that teacher. Like, I should have given her credit or listened to her back then. Yeah.
But so I had interest in it. So then when I went to college, you had to pick a major. I was going to do sports medicine, but the school I went to didn't have sports medicine. So they like, what major you going to pick? And I'm like, well, theater was cool. I actually enjoyed it. So let's do theater. You know what I mean? So I just did all the classes that I needed to do, took dance. And again, I didn't wear leotards again.
I was just going to ask. Did you finally succumb to the pressure of having to wear it? But you're like, nope, I stayed true.
I ended up doing it in college and I still got clowns. So it's like, I should have just did it when I was in high school because I had to play in this play in college and we had to wear tights. Like, there was no getting around it.
You're like, damn. Yeah, no, but you know what? Like, you appreciate it more back in high school because that shit was free. Those classes. Now you're like, I got to pay to wear tights. Like, come on, man.
Right, exactly. For acting classes, no, like, it's like, it costs now. It was free when you was in school.
Yeah, sure. You're like, I could have had my homeboys dog me for wearing tights, but at least that was free. No, I'm paying tuition on it.
It was free education right there. Yeah, so from there, it just, I enjoyed it. And when I got done, I had my son. He was younger, and I'm like, I graduated from college. It's like, what am I going to do? I got a kid now, and it's like, I got all this experience. Well, I thought I had all this experience in acting. I'm like, why not just, I went to school for years. I might as well just attempt to try to do it. And from there, it just went on, and I just started like really loving it and getting deeper into it, studying more. And, like I said, been blessed to have a tribe back in Philadelphia where, we all came together and start creating. And, it just went up from there.
That's so cool. So,
but we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to ask, so you and Venus have actually made the cross country move. You guys made the decision a little while back to actually move to LA. So you've lifted your roots from Philadelphia and have moved all the way across the country to chase your dreams. I cannot talk. So especially during quarantine, that's a very, very difficult task to handle, but you guys did it successfully. I will say, so props to you guys on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you're welcome. But it's just so, fun to see that you guys are really, really overly dedicated, but passionate about chasing your dreams. Yes. OD. But chasing your dreams. So tell us a little bit about, the transition of moving, because like obviously your career is evolving and you know where you want to go, but now you're like, I have to physically move in order to get where I want to go,
Right.
mentally and figuratively and realistically being able to move. So how has it been since the move? How's it going out there?
All right. So it's been good actually, but the whole process of us even moving from the jump, um, years ago, Clifton Powell, like I said, the actor Clifton Powell always told me, if you want to be a gladiator, you got to go to the arena.
Ooh,
So,
I
so
like
you
that.
you got to be where they at, like pretty much. You know what I mean? So I've been struggling and betting on that for years. Honestly, like I've been supposed to move out here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been supposed to move out here, and it never like really worked out. I kept pushing it back, or something came up, or things of that nature, or was scared. Honestly, maybe I'm not even know. Like I was subconsciously, maybe I was scared as well. But like I said, one day we always talking, me, Venus, actually Janelle too, because we always thinking about coming out here. And one of our other friends named Ronnie, and we like, yo, we really gotta move. I'm like, we was like, you know what? We want to set a date. And on this date, we're moving. Like, we don't care what's going on. We got to move by this date. That date didn't work out. But it put in our mind that we really have to leave now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the second time when me and Venus set a date, we like, we're going to do this date right here. It didn't work out again.
But you still were pushing
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah. And then the last time we like, you know what? This is really going to be the set date that we're going. And we don't care what happened. And at that time, honestly, I was still broke as hell, like super, super, super broke. But when you put things out in the world, God hears it and you really believe it, things start working out for you. So in the process of us saying that date, probably like 2 months before that, I was like I said, super broke as hell. But COVID happened, and actually, it's funny. This is messed up to say. A lot of people lost their lives, and people got sick, and lost family members. And I even lost family members from COVID. But it wasn't that bad for me.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, but you also gained a lot too. So it's
Yeah,
just like,
I did
yeah.
a lot. Like just even with hours at my job, because I worked at a hospital at the time. So COVID is, we got to be there. So just getting a whole bunch of hours. So now them checks is getting bigger than like they normally come in. My job also gave us another check just for working during COVID. So they gave us like a bonus check, which was great. They didn't know I was leaving. I knew I was leaving, but they didn't. But I took that with me too. So it would just be a blessing. And like I said, we had family members, and the same thing, worked out for Venus. And we was able to make the move comfortably, actually. A lot of people were not able to make it comfortably. And since it was COVID, everything was shut down. We was able to adjust here. I feel like if we'd have came here when it was popping, we probably wouldn't have been able to adjust because we were already trying to be on the move, because our mindset is like we're coming to get work.
Yes.
But since it was shut down, we was able to like chill, relax, know some stuff, even reach out to people, be a part of the LMG. We was a part of LMG before we left.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But
Yeah, because I remember when you guys are like, we're
not
moving. And I was like, what? So I remember, yes.
even though Damage from Philly, I met Damage 2 years before that, and I actually gave him a shirt. I was like, hey man, Damage, I'm from Philly too, and he actually gave me his number back then 2 years ago. He's like, man, I'm still from Philly, I still got my Philly number. Like, yo, you can hit me up, like, and it was kind of cool. So it's funny when he had when I seen the class, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking this class. Like, I'm with that.
That's so awesome. It's good to see that like third time's a charm and you actually got like finally pulled the trigger after the third time, but you had that motivation to be like, yeah, we're going. Timing may not be right, but I think grand scheme of things, timing was right. Exactly what you said. Like you're trying to like get your bearings in LA, trying to figure out your neighborhood, where to live, where to start working, what to be doing, because otherwise you're going to be like so distracted by all the things that not are really necessary, like all the like the celeb parties and all this stuff, like trying to get into.
Is that because people like, you want to go here, you want to go here? Like people be caught up on that. I'm not really a person that even wants to be caught up in that. I'm not that person anyway. If it ain't a networking opportunity, I really don't care too much about going to them type parties. I don't even like to party. I'm a person that like to chill in the house or have a kickback with people in the house. I am a fake extrovert. I,
Fake
I said I don't
extrovert.
like people. And it sounds mean when I say I don't like people, but I don't, not that I don't actually like them. It's like, I don't really, what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. Like, I will put, like, if I had to put the, like as in interviews and stuff, what I mean? I'm interested in people, but like, I don't like being around a lot of people. So parties and stuff is not for me. That's what I'm
Yep.
saying. Unless
Yes.
there's a networking opportunity there and I'm there for a reason. Like a lot of times when I go to parties, if it's a network opportunity, I already do my research on who's probably going to be there, who I need to try to talk to, who, what I'm saying? Things like that. And I do talk to other random people too, don't get me wrong, because other people are interested and people got a lot going on. That's why I started the interview show, but we'll talk about that too. But so yeah, I don't really like be around a lot of people. So if it ain't, I'm cool off the celebrity parties. Like it's cool to see them. I would love to see them. Like, hey, that's dope, But if it ain't really no network opportunity, not really just there to party and turn up.
Well, listen, you're talking to the antisocial socialite. So it's like, I feel you on that. I feel you. And actually, Julia, who's in our group, she had interviewed me a couple months back. And she was like, there's introverts, there's extroverts, or there's ambiverts. And it's kind of like being right in the middle. And I feel like that's where you fall because that's where I was. I'm like, people are cool, but I say all the time, I hate everyone. I'm
Yeah.
always saying that. So it's like, no, I feel you because it's like people are really cool and interesting and you get to hear their stories. But like most of the time, you're like, I just want to be alone or I just want like my people. And that circle is like super small. I don't want to have to like fill with just like a bunch of names. Like I just want my tight knit group. So I 100% am with you on that one.
By the way, yo, I love the marketplace finds. That is so funny to me. That is super hilarious. I didn't know like all that weird stuff was sold on Facebook Market. Like that's really crazy.
Yeah, I have like a whole camera roll. So I was like, okay, I can't do an entire episode dedicated to it. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I could just like start a little sneak peek. But since then, I've had people send me, they're like, oh, you should put this on the show. I saw this. And, so
Yeah,
it's funny.
it's
But I'm
dope.
like, people are weird out in this world. And I'm just like, I mean, you watched it, you saw all the things that were on that. I'm like, who would sell like literally a Windex trigger spray thing in a Sprite bottle, but the Sprite bottle is not included? And I'm like, why are you going to sell that for $6 plus $5 shipping when I could go get Windex at the store for $2.99 and do it myself? I don't understand, but I was like,
You never know. Somebody probably they probably sold it.
for their sake, they did. I was like, keep hustling harder, be creative, be sustainable, because otherwise people are going to be throwing this shit away anyway. So I love it. Now, I have one last question for you, Tyrone, because we've talked a lot about your roots in Philly and how important it is, not only from like growing up to just like loving the community, even though you're not living there. But what have you learned in LA thus far that you would like to take that knowledge and bring to the creatives that you know in Philadelphia to like really foster? Because I don't always feel like you have to leave your hometown or your city that you live in to make it an amazing place artistically. So like what would you say for them if they want to stay in Philly and love Philly and enjoy it? Like what could they do there to create the scene?
So
That's a
with that,
very loaded question. Sorry.
you saying that, which is true in a way, like artistically, Philly has a lot of dope creatives. One thing I would definitely want to bring back to Philly is that's a good question. As in creatively, probably just um network more. A lot of people in Philly, don't get me wrong, it's like everybody, people have their own crew, and it's like, which is cool. Everybody got their own tribe, but don't be as scared to vibe with another tribe to create something amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because that tribe probably got something that you don't have. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, network, honestly, you have your own crew, like I said, but opportunities. I've been hit up like, hey, we having this webinar from this producer that produced Insecure, or a writer that's on Insecure, or you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of opportunities here to network. There's a lot of opportunities to learn more. I think we lack in that in Philadelphia. A lot of the stuff they're trying to stop, like creative things. You know, that's why Rec Philly, like we talked about earlier, is so dope because they're really shutting down like the rec centers and stuff. You know, in Philadelphia, and the kids don't got that opportunity. So it's like Rec Philly is like that place for kids to be creative and stuff like that. Especially growing up in like an urban neighborhood, we don't really get the exposure to these things. They don't think it's possible. You might see it on TV, but they don't think that it's possible that they can be on TV. So when you got like the Kevin Harts and the Will Smiths and people that's successful from Philly, they definitely come out of Philadelphia, which I feel like you do have to do that to a certain extent, you know. But when you bring back, don't just bring back money, bring back opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all could, you know, have an office to Overbrook Productions in Philadelphia. You know, it don't have to be the big office, but have just 8 office.
Right.
You know? Or Heartbeat Studios and stuff like that. So when I make it, because we want to speak things into existence,
Absolutely.
we want to bring them opportunities, them buildings or whatever to back to Philadelphia, because there's a lot of talent. People just don't know how to get out there, you know. And some people mindsets is like, oh, we can't do it. So I do feel like right now you might have to move, but just come back.
Yes, yes.
Bring the opportunities back with you. You know what I mean? I ain't saying you got to live there, but, you know, bring the opportunities back. You know, have an agency or something. If you're a person that have the agency, have an agency there. You know what I mean? I would love to have my overly dedicated network, a building in Philadelphia somewhere.
Hi. I love you. Thank you so much for talking and spending some time with us today to hear more about your story. But I want people to have the opportunity to actually see what you're working on. So if you don't mind dropping your social handles, your YouTube channel, everywhere that we can find you, so people have the opportunity to really check out your work.
Everybody get a pen and paper, because there's a lot. I have a lot going on, you know. So first, you can follow the network page on Instagram as OD Network _. So it's OD Network _. The YouTube page, please like, comment, and subscribe on those videos. It's Overly Dedicated Network on YouTube. You know, the Kicking with Ty got his own page, so you know you can follow that. It's Kicking It, which is KICKIN _it IT_ with WITH _ Ty. I know it's a lot, but we do that. Also, the streetwear brand, Bear Monkey Rebel, which we didn't really get all the way into, but you know, the hat, you see it.
I was just gonna say, no, we did not talk about it. We talked about your shirt, but not even your hat.
Yeah. I actually just realized that I had the hat on when I was looking at the shirt the whole time, but because when I'm sitting, I'm tall, so when I'm like this, I don't really see it until I went down like that. But
oh yeah, I forgot I was wearing this. Yeah.
Bear Monkey Rebel clothing, which means embracing your individuality through streetwear. So follow that page. We got a lot of stuff. We had a wrestling collection that dropped. We also have the University collection, which is Rebel University. You know, we just trying to keep moving, you know. So follow them pages. Facebook, Tyrone Blasting Game. I have a LinkedIn, Tyrone Blasting Game. I don't really be on it. I need to be on it more. Tyrone Blasting Game. And you know, that's about it.
And what's your personal telephone number? And what's your fax number? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, y'all gotta DM me for that. I ain't putting that out.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I was like, we have all different access to you, from like the apparel collection to your show to everything. So I was just like, wow, okay, what else do you need? What's your home address? No, I'm just kidding. That's so awesome.
Thing I'm interested in, man. Why not? We only got one life, so try to do everything that you're interested in, and then when you find something that clicks and is good, go for it. Thank you guys tuning in for this week's episode, and I am so sorry for you to be victim of this like vicious rain that you can hear in the background. Even with all the music or cute things or sound effects that I do over it, like this storm is pretty ridiculous, and my house was shaken a couple times during
No, not really. That was so stupid. I just did that, but like during recording. What? See, this is why I tell you that I do not act 36. I'm like 6 going on 36 or 36 going on 6. But I hope you guys enjoyed my interview with Tyrone. He's amazing. It's been so great to get to know him and learn about him and become his friend over these last few months. I've had a really good time getting to know him and his girlfriend Venus. When they started off in Philly, well, they were born and raised there. But, well, actually Tyrone was born in California. Fun fact when you watch the interview. But no, it's been great to learn about them, become friends with them, and see their transition and their huge move from Philadelphia to LA. So big shout out to you guys. I'm so excited to have you guys back on here soon. You will actually get to see Venus at the end of this season, so stay tuned with that. But yeah, thank you for watching. This is the first episode of December, and we're just gonna keep it going with some holiday spirit all throughout the rest of season 2. All right, so till next time, guys, peace out.